I almost did not see you.
I almost did not see you.
I hope you are well.
What's this?
I have misgivings about letting the Jotun live.
Many
Is our
greetings,
life
stranger.
not harder?
Do you bring news from below? My brother? I would hardly consider Histis family anymore. He left that behind when he turned his back on civilization, like one of those marauders. What business has he sent you on, Beckoned? I suppose I have been rather hard on Histis. If he feels this is his calling, then I should support him as family. The ring is in my chest over there. Here is the key to open it. Yes, farewell. Be careful here.
I expected the beckon. Sooner or later.
Greetings. I hope you have had some success collecting the artifacts around the teeth of Naros. Be careful with them.
I expected the beckon. Rise sooner or later. Yes, beckoned.
When we came to this land, I thought it was a place of promise.
Beckoned! You've returned. The rats are diminished, though some yet remain. I should warn the city to stay vigilant against them. Still, I ask that you take this as a token of my appreciation. Here is gold for your trouble. And take this amulet as well. It marks you as one of the city's illustrious sewer masons. Wear it with pride.
I hear you.
Don't see many new faces out here. So you have completed the tasks, but I do not see Corina. Then her choice is made. Well, there is no more putting this off. I must take my leave. Well, the Jotun go with bare feet, so I will as well. Take my sandals, Beckoned. They may be of some use to you. Perhaps you are right. The Jotun are not exactly the most reasonable of creatures when it comes to outsiders. I suppose I could wait and observe them a bit longer before I make an attempt to live with them. Thank you for your help, Beckoned. You truly speak with the wisdom of Athene. There's not really enough space in this camp for two.
We have a problem. Elund Karth refuses to send any troops to assist Melsen Shir. The old fool never would listen to reason. I certainly hope so. We're going to need every sword we can muster. You can find him in the upper city, staring over the strait at Melsen Shir. The fool might as well be at its funeral. They're in the city, but they can't join us unless Elund Karth grants his blessing for them to go with us. Agarth has gone to reason with him. He was a fine fighter, as I recall, but I do not know if his diplomacy is as practiced.
That's 5 gold ever market. Students of magic, masters of spells. Every serious student shops at Learcrypt. Go forth, live boldly, then return to me.
Just look at it all.
So then she looked at me and said, if that's a wall...
Lord Kandrian is... Lyria smile on you. Goodbye. Welcome to our temple. They were primarily sent to the strongholds of the plains of Arathel, but any that you find will be gladly welcomed and thanked with gold. Goodbye.
What can I do?
A theme guide your actions.
must be the beckoned.
You bear the circlet of Arcades. Then the wreath is almost complete. The foundation is gold with runes of prayer, as I said. Now, it must be woven with blood and toil. The colossi furnish the foundation and nature furnishes the trappings. The laurels of the wreath are not crafted, but earned. We seek Teryx veins. Once they are ours, once the wreath is complete, the ritual of atonement can begin. I take it you have encountered a Teryx before. Likely the mongrel, carrion-eating scavengers that plague us. They are a common foe. We seek the veins of the Alpha Teryx. They are fierce and proud, all that is wild and savage in nature. To prove to the gods the righteousness of our faith, then we must conquer a mighty foe. They will serve. We are so close.
Must be the beckoned.
Anacatus walks among us, and the citizens are awed. This act seems small to you, beckoned.
Your tiny body. You are.
We are here. That is good.
I feel hope stirring in my veins once more. It is the prospect of reconciliation that has granted me a second youth. Come. We must kill the alphas of each Eyrie. With their veins in hand, we shall fulfill the gods' wishes. We must act. Feel my wrath! Feel Balin's embrace! Stay close. If we are not careful, we may be overwhelmed. Salvation awaits. Thus we begin. And as we harvest these trophies, you shall learn the journey the Colossi have taken to get here. Once we were but savages, no better than the other giant kin. We were called Myru, and to that identity we were chained until one day, Athene spoke to us. She spoke of a destiny and greatness that was not ours, but could be. She showed us the path of ascension, and we followed it here, to the teeth of Naros. The goddess has shepherded my people for generations. She was responsible for the growth of my people. Somehow, we were found unworthy of her. I have prayed to learn why, but her anger must be far too great. We must act. Feel Balin's embrace! Feel Balin's embrace! Feel my wrath! We wandered the teeth of Naros in search of the homeland we were promised. And when hope seemed lost, we found the Hyperion. It was a divine artifact. No mortal hand could have crafted it, a massive stone, alone in the wilderness, with the image of a floating city engraved upon its surface. At the city's heart was the Hyperion itself. We knew then Athene was tasking us to craft this wondrous city, to form a covenant. But we betrayed that ideal. To test our worthiness, the gods have strewn throughout Amalur riddles, puzzles, and challenges. Answering them demonstrates our greatness. The Hyperion is one such challenge. Perhaps the greatest of them. And though we discovered it years before, we still do not have the answer. Very well, Beckett. Feel my wrath! Feel my wrath! Feel Balin's embrace! Feel Balin's embrace! Feel my wrath! In the end, the city rose, but the Hyperion did not follow. The heart of the city remained unmoved. That we could not abide. My predecessor, Arches, sought to force the Hyperion up, but the Hyperion rejected him, killing him and his followers, and sealed itself away. Our work here is concluded. Since you seem to favor the arts of magic, take these. I used them once. May they guide your meditations. I must make the gods see that my people can be redeemed for the faults of Arches. With the wreath in hand, I can conduct a ritual of atonement. As you bear the cipher, the conduit to the gods, you will bear witness. Come. We must conduct this ceremony at the site of our original transgression. Let us go to the Hyperion. If it will not, then why were you brought to me? To ridicule our suffering? To spite our lamentations? To answer them with scourge and salt? I know the gods of my forerunners. They would not flaunt the answer to their riddles without sharing it. Now come. The Hyperion awaits. We must act. Feel Balin's embrace. Feel Balin's embrace. Feel Balin's embrace. Feel Balin's embrace. In the end, the city rose, but the Hyperion, my predecessor, our work here is concluded. Since you seem to favor the arts of magic, we must act. Time is now. With the wreath in hand, we can begin the redemption of... I must make the gods see that my... With the wreath in hand. Come. We must conduct this ceremony at the site of our original transgression. We must act. You have come, good. We stand in a ground once hallowed beyond all things, now tainted by the excommunication of my people. Ever since that terrible day when arrogance and desperation brought about the disfavor of the gods, my followers have tended this place. Now come. We shall go to the antechamber of the Hyperion, the very spot where the sins of the Colossi were answered. The antechamber is the flawed design of Arches. It was the means by which he sought to force the Hyperion to join the city. It was to do so using the spark of divine magic Athene placed into each of us, that these fragments combined would create a force equal to that of a god. Such power was never meant to be wielded by the unworthy. The energies struck back at Arches, and the many assembled in his chamber, killing them. The end of this awaits. We are almost. Much was ruined in that dark hour. The magics holding the paths together were unbound. Only the cipher can reorder such magics. Press ahead and set the path. Was to celebrate the great triumph of my people. The city floats. It is nothing without the Hyperion at its heart. If you were curious, I could tell you. Again, we find the way barred. I'm afraid I need your help once more. We have reached it. Beyond that stone is the Hyperion, the gift of the gods, the symbol of a covenant concluded. It rests out of reach, waiting for the day when the gods forgive our trespass, when they find us worthy again. Until now, I feared such a day would not come. We should begin. The gods visited this room once before. It seems only fit that you occupy their position. I will take my place where Arceus once stood. The end of this awaits. Please, Ben, I have taken my place, but you must also take yours. Thank the gods! Praise be to them after all this time. I bear witness to their confirmation. You have done so well, beckoned, to bring the cipher to me and to let me use its strength. With you, I can do what Arceus could not, command the Hyperion. The gods have found my people unworthy of the gifts offered us. So, using the Hyperion, I will see Idylla destroyed. The wicked will be purged. And once the city falls, I will reforge the ruins in an image the gods find acceptable. I'm sorry, Beckoned, but you must be a martyr for my cause.
Peace with your God.
Beckoned? What has happened? Why are Anakatos' acolytes attacking us? What is he doing with the Hyperion? Destroy Idylla? No! That zealous fool! Have the loss of his gods driven him to such despair to use the Beckoned and the Cipher for such ends? We must make our way from this place. We cannot stop Anakatos from here. Take this talisman. The Silent Choir acolyte who bore it won't need it anymore. Now let's move. Very well. I must. Anakatos has sealed himself in with the Hyperion, and his silent choir will lay down their lives for him. I do not know what to do, Beckoned. I have defended my people from beasts and disasters, but nothing like this. Of course, I will not let Anakatos destroy my people because he believes the gods demand it. I know we have the strength we need inside of us, despite his claims. We are worth saving, even if the gods disagree. But Anakatos has sealed himself in the Hyperion antechamber. Without the cipher and knowledge of the Hyperion, we are lost. Anakatos was clever by exploiting your power. The cipher must be the key to unlocking the Hyperion, and he has broken it in his plan. But that is the one thing my people have been unable to do since we first came here. Only the Primos would know enough about the riddle for us to even try. Anakatos and his silent choir had a monastic retreat in the wilderness, Nixaros. If we need his knowledge, we best start our search there. Be cautious in these lands.
You can't hurt me!
Can't hurt me, runt!
We cannot waste time. There does not appear to be much here, but we have to be thorough. We should try near the shrine of Athene. Anakatos prizes her above all else. I would wager he keeps his secrets with her.
Very well.
Watch your step in the concourse. Blessings to you.
Do you require assistance? I can heal whatever wounds you may suffer. Be careful if you choose to debate.
Yes? Ah, yes, the Beckoned. There has been much talk of you recently. I have been hoping to speak with you since I heard of your stay in Idylla. I have a task for you, one no one else in the city can perform. We have a plant in this city, the Evenroot. It was brought with the utmost care from our homeland. There was a special tender for the Evenroot, but he has passed. No colossi but the tender or his heir can care for the plant, so tradition dictates. The heir is en route to our city. but the Evenroot will die if it is not tended, and the heir is weeks away. Oh, thank the gods. I have been at my wit's end for days trying to devise some way of appeasing all parties. It has not been easy. To water the Evenroot, you will require spring water from Njordr's font. This water is outside the city, along with the vessel to carry the water. Find this vessel, the amphora, and fill it with water from the font. Then bring the water to the plant and tend it. Stay alert, Beckoned.
And so this Myru gifted them with Apothani heart, and the newly born Colossi found deliverance. With the gods once more upon the mount, so did they surge towards the teeth of Naros, towards majesty. Your prophet leads us to glory in your name. Blessed is the way of Kraos.
is it? What is it?
Anakatos, make this record in penance for my disappointment of the supreme goddess Athene, in hopes that I may return to her favor, so that I could help my people find her strength once more. I have committed several acts that may have angered her, and now I purge myself of them so I might find her grace again.
Beckoned, not time. Seek Primus below.
Hold a moment. These are bodies of colossi. What are they doing here? Wait, I recognize some faces. Bilfron, Armandia, these were great colossi, all viable competitors for the role of Primos at one time or another. I do not like the implications of this. What has Anakatos wrought? Very well.
I am afraid we have dishonored my master, Arcades. He is a pious man who has always sought to serve, and we use the power of his position to force us on the true path without his knowledge. Slavery, oppression, pain, all I use to mold them into what is deemed...
Trespassers, you are too late! The council already lies dying in the torture chambers, and the Jotun slaves will soon be butchered as the master ordered. Come, brothers and sisters, let us deal with these curs.
Not dead.
Primos cannot succeed. Here, I found these during the fight. I do not know what they once bound, but they might be of use to you. Now, we must decipher what that cultist said. But there are also the slaves. They will be killed if we don't save them. But if the council is dying, we must choose who we see to first. The council must be important. Something that could help us find a flaw in his plan, perhaps, or learn more about the cipher in the Hyperion. I do not believe so. The council is dying if Anakatos' dogs are to be believed, and the slaves are to be executed. I am unsure who we should be trying to help, but you are the Beckoned of Athene. I must defer this choice to you. So decide. Do we go to the slave pens and help the slaves? Or do we go to the torture chambers to try to find Anakatos' council before it dies? Very well. Ahead are the torture chambers, it seems. Anakatos' council lies on this path. I must.
Finally the day has come. The wait has been long, and nearly unbearable. But at last, you are here. Before my strength has fled me. Ever since the day I brought ruin to my people, I thought this burden was my punishment. It seems I have not survived for my sake, but for yours. It is a joy to see you beckoned. I have much to tell you, and I do not have much time left. I am Arcais. Once I was the primos of the Colossi, but no longer. It is what Anokatos calls me, for though his faith runs deep, his knowledge of the gods' will is malformed. You must have seen the travesties this false prophet has wrought in the name of my people. And now, the Hyperion is his. We must focus on the Hyperion. The gods brought you here because you can answer the riddle of my people's fate. You, and you alone. The power to change fate. That is the role of the beckoned. To serve the gods and unbind my people. But Anokatos schemes. Though he will not receive the favor of Athene, he is not ready for the Hyperion. He will bring destruction. Ah, it is too soon. But I have left the answers long before. Find Sikandra. Ask her about our last day. And tell her I am sorry.
Arcais, I had always... He had died. He had died years ago when the gods rebuked him and our people. It was truth. Anokatos had him alive and tortured. I watched him die years before. All that was left of him was a circlet. A circlet. Our last day. The day... Could it mean the last day that I saw him? The last day we spoke, before the Hyperion tragedy. He asked me to escort him through the wilds, to the shrines outside the city, the shrines of earth and air. He told me to remember them when times seem bleak. I thought nothing of it, but could he have known about this? About now? Because I am his daughter. It was known to many, and it used to be a bond of pride. And he taught me the wisdom of a primos. But then, Arcais brought down the wrath of the gods. I thought that was how faith was always rewarded. I once thought that faith was what would ruin my people, the thing that would distract them from their happiness. But I see now, it is apathy. To not care for our people, that is Anokatos' sin. As I thought it was Arcais' before him. But this is so much larger. Larger than I ever thought. And Arcais, he always knew that I would be here. He must have always known. The task is clear. We need to... My head. Can you feel it? Something is wrong. This magic. Anakatos has done something. We must return to the city. We might be too late. Something grave has happened. I can feel it in my body. I fear Anakatos may have accomplished his goal.
Farewell.
In this confession I shall tell of how my master was brought nearly to his death. Arcais failed Athene in our mission to bring her servants to a devout state that would be worthy of her power and wisdom. At my behest, he sought the Hyperion force to the sky to earn our recognition. The ensuing eruption of Athene's wrath killed many, and nearly took dear Arcais.
The city seems intact, but still, the henge has already become disrupted. Anakatos has sealed us from the city. It is only a matter of time before he finds a way to destroy Idylla. We must find what Arcais spoke of, and quickly. Arcais requested specifically that we go to the shrines of earth and air on the last day we spent together. There are 2 sites in the wilderness, touched by the gods, one in the peaks of the Teeth, and the other in its canyon. These were called the Shrines of Earth and Air. I thought nothing of them, but Arcais knew. He must have known this day would come, when we needed them. Yes, the last day came long after we had stopped speaking. The burdens of his reign had all but consumed him. He made a pilgrimage to the shrine of earth and air, and I was his guard. He asked for me personally. He said I would need these places when the hour was darkest. I thought it was a half-felt apology, but I never forgot it, and neither did he. I cannot say for sure, but there is more than coincidence here. That Arcais showed these places to me, that he mentioned them as he died. But we have little else to act on, and with every moment the chance of Anakatos' calamity occurring grows greater. It rests in the teeth of Naros, but south of the Hyperion and the city. It is nestled between the great crags of rock that make these mountains.
Very well.